So I am going to build myself a cute little camper. This is the Camper Life die set, and it includes all the fun little dies that you need to create this cute little camper, right, for vacation and that sort of thing. It also includes some Happy Holidays sentiment die and Merry Christmas and warm wishes, and a couple of other things that can be used for Christmas, like a wreath for the door and a bow to go on that wreath. And this is this die, although it looks really funky, it basically is just going to make a it's going to make the edge for you to have a snowdrift or snow stacking up behind the outside of your camper. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and start putting this one together. Now, the camper die, you can use it for a lot of different things. It's very similar to the food truck one that I shared with you guys last month. I absolutely love that die set, and it works pretty much in the same way, including a way for you to add this cute coffee cup on top of the camper, which means you could use that on your food truck, and instead it would be a coffee truck or hot chocolate chip truck. I'm thinking that's hot chocolate because that's what I like it, when it's cold out. Anyhow, this is the die that cuts out the main shape of your camper. It has a slit up here so that you can install an awning, just like we did in the food truck. The door opens, which is super cool. There's also a couple of dies where you can cut this out if you want to. I did not cut out the window this time, but you could cut the window out here, and you could cut a window out on the door. Instead, I cut out a separate little silver rectangle window to go on there, so I'm going to be adhering those down. And we also have a die here to be able to create our door, and as I mentioned, you can put that window right in that door, so that is super cool. What else do I have? I got a bunch of little dies to go for a wheel, so I've got my wheel cut out. I'm going to be doing it in black for the wheel itself, white wall for the tire, and then we have a little silver hubcap, so that's going to be all of those put together. We've got another die, and this one here has got the swirlies to go inside our mug there, and I'm going to be coloring that one up with my MB2 for it to have some hot chocolatey goodness color. We've also got these trim pieces like for our windows, so I've got that. And there were actually two, so there's one for the top and one for the bottom. So we've got the trim pieces for that. Dump those out. This one, I was trying to figure out for the life of me what this little piece here is for, and that's cut from this die here. And then it dawned on me, this is the part where it actually would go over the hitch that would either be on the back of your car or on the post that you would stick in the ground so that your vehicle doesn't go anywhere. So that's going to go there. And then this is the piece that is actually for that hitch. So this is how this one would go. That little hitch is going to go in the front. That piece would go over the hitch, and everything is connected on the front of your trailer. So that's going to be kind of cool. I just was wanting to make sure I let you guys know that and didn't forget, because that one really had me stumped for a bit. So we have our back bumper. We've got this little accent piece. And these I just cut out of some regular silver cardstock. This one I think is for the door trim. Yeah, that is to go over the top of my door there. We've got some pieces that are for just to come up out of our little mug there to show the steam. This piece I think is supposed to be for the straw, but why it's attached with the part that is would you'd cut out of silver, I don't know, but I can always cut out another one. Yeah, that does look like it would be the straw. And then these little guys here, these little white pieces here that come out of this piece are actually for the stripes for the straw. So I could have a silver and white straw. I don't know. I may do that. I may just leave the straw off altogether. And then this, just like on our food truck, that's the one where our cup is going to be mounted on our little trailer. So I'm going to go ahead and just start assembling, and I did want to show you where all the dies were for, because sometimes it's a little confusing as to what everything is actually used for. But I thought that most of them were pretty much self-explanatory, which was awesome, because I have had a few sets where it's like I'm having to go back and look at all of the photos to see, okay, where did they use that? Because I have no idea. So that little piece is for the door as well. This one, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this one is actually, I believe that that's actually a tail light. They gave you plenty of room to be able to adhere that. Okay, I'm going to start off with just adhering my little wheel together because, you know, that one is really super simple. And I'm just using some art glitter glue for this. I've got my cute little awning, and on this set they actually gave you a ton of the pieces to be able to do the stripes on the awning, so I've got all of those little pieces already cut out and in this dish, so I'll go ahead and start adhering those down after folding on the score lines so everything is going to be lined up the way I want it. And I do like the way that they designed this die for these stripes. You have plenty, you have enough to do the entire thing. You could either do blue with white or white with blue in this case. So you could have either the undercolor on the outside or as the inside and put the topping on the outside, because you've got actually enough to do 4 of the stripes. And this time I just did 3 of the white. Let's go ahead and install our little awning. Just like we did when we were messing around with that food truck, we're going to want to put some adhesive on the inside here. And if you haven't seen that food truck video, I'll leave a link to it here in case you're interested. I love the little food truck. It was so much fun. And then I'm able to slide it in to this little slit that the die cut and just kind of press that in place. Let my art glitter glue do its thing. And now we have this cute little awning on our little camper. Okay, I'll go ahead and move those out of the way because I don't need them. Next, I'm going to put my tire on. It's going to go, of course, behind the wheel well of my camper. So let's add a little bit of adhesive around the edge here. And that looks like pretty good placement, I think. For this die, it gave us a couple of different accent pieces. So this one is going to go up at the top of my camper. And all the little details, all they really are there for is to make it look a little bit more realistic. Okay, and then we've got this piece here, which is going to go across there. I'll go ahead and add my door. Okay, and since I want this one to go up here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw with a pencil. I'm just going to draw a light line on the inside because I want to color the inside of this a little bit of gray, and the only reason for that is because this is probably a screen door or screen window, and I want it to look like there's a little bit something going on behind that. I mean, we've got this nice white door, but let's give it a screen. And I'm just going to do it solid because this is also going to have our wreath over it anyway. And if I'm lucky, I did not accidentally go outside of where that is supposed to go. Nope, I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't go all the way to the edges, but that's okay. You add a little bit more. And actually, I need to draw a little bit further out. Okay, so I'm going to just draw a a line right at the edge. I'm more concerned about going outside the lines than I am about whether or not I have any white showing on the inside. But this should bring me right about to where I need to be. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and adhere this little window down. Okay, got my little window, and I've got my little handle, so I can go ahead and put that down. So we can open that door. Oh, this is looking so cute! Okay, so next I need to adhere the window through here. I didn't cut out another piece to go behind it, but that's okay. I think what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically just draw like there are some curtains there that are closed. Just mean kind of streaky here. And this one is VB1. I could come in with VB2 and make it a little bit deeper, and this would be kind of the background color. I think that is what I'm gonna do. So it's gonna look kind of like curtains. Let's see what that looks like with the window around it. I think that is pretty close. I'll get that VB2. Add a little extra shadow in the corners. And with those happy holidays greetings there, this would be a really cute place to maybe stamp out a tiny Santa, or if you have, you can always cut that part out and have Santa or a kid or a tree kind of poking out or peeking out from behind. I think that will work. Let me go ahead and adhere my little silver window frame down. Okay, so that is looking pretty cute. Okay, now we have some more accent pieces here. Let's go ahead and do the one that goes over the door frame. Go ahead and install that. I'm sorry, I am starting to get tickled over this. Okay, I think what I thought was something else is actually something else. So, what I'm going to do, this guy actually goes here. Okay, this part that I thought was supposed to go over the hitch there, I was actually wrong. This is supposed to go back here, over that, so that you could put your silver bumper on the end. So now I know what this one's for. I was completely wrong on that one. Sometimes the only way for you to figure out exactly how something is supposed to work is to use it. Put it together and it will come together. Okay, so that goes on there. So that is that bottom trim. And then we've got our back bumper. And then we've got our tail light that I have out of white, and now it needs to be red. So let's add a little bit of color to that. Okay, so now we've got our little tail light colored. And now I can attach this guy onto the front. So it'll keep our trailer stationary. I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue here on the end. I'm going to say that is about right, or close enough. See, even if you don't have it lined up just right, all you need is a strip of white cardstock down at the bottom to put your snow. Or you could use the same die and do something else out of a different color. Could be a light brown for sand, it could be dark green for grass. whatever color ground you want it to have. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put this last piece of trim right underneath our window here. And of course, we still have this little accent piece that shows that this little trailer is supposed to go fast, which it doesn't. So that is it for our little trailer. Isn't that guy just adorable? So what I've got left is I've got this piece that is going to put my my coffee or hot chocolate over the top of my little guy here. And I think what I'm going to do this time, last time I did it this way. And I was having a little trouble trying to make sure everything was lined up the way I wanted. So I think what I'm going to do this time is put it on there this way. Meaning the two little pieces, the two little sticks are going to stick to the bottom of my truck. And then I can just put my mug up above that however I want. Okay, so I'll go ahead and put that up here, and I think I kind of want it above where my window is, so let's just put that right up there. Okay, so now that mount is there, and it kind of looks like a luggage rack or that little opening that is sometimes on the top of trailers. One thing I think I am going to do though is I think I want to put some white cardstock behind the letters so that they pop out a little bit more. And there is a little sticking off the edge there, so I'm just going to trim that off. Just adding some glue to my little stand there, and just pop my little mug on there. Oh, that is darling. I need my hot chocolate. Just kind of just go around those swirly bits. And then I'm going back in with my MB2, which is a lighter color. Kind of blend them out just a little bit and add the rest of that chocolatey goodness. Okay, next I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to the back and then put that in my mug. Oh, that is adorable. Do you think I need to add a little bit more of the MB2 though and blend that out a little bit more? Because that dark is a little bit dark. Yeah, that I think looks a little bit better. Okay, so now I can adhere my little steam popping right up from inside of my coffee or my chocolate. Okay, it could be either way, guys. You know, I haven't 100% decided if that's going to be a coffee mug or a hot chocolate mug. Now, a couple of pieces I have not used yet is my little wreath. Still need to cut that out, and my little bow, so I will be right back. Okay, so now I've got my little wreath and I've got my little bow. It comes with a bow piece and a tail for the bow, so let me go ahead and get those attached together. This is one of the times I'm glad that I bought a second pair of tweezers. It makes it a lot easier to position teeny tiny pieces, right? Okay, so my wreath is going to go on the front of that door, and I'm going to attach it right to the bottom, my bow to the right to the bottom of my wreath. So let me go ahead and add the glue onto the bow and get that part done. And I'm using art glitter glue, which dries clear, thank God, because I'm making a mess by getting it all over the place. It dries clear and it dries matte, so you're not really even going to be able to see it when you're using it on matte cardstock, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and add that to that screen door. Oh, that is looking super cute. Okay, I also went ahead and cut out that snowbank and the Merry Christmas sentiment so I can basically line that up on there. And I had another thought. This is a big object to do this with, but you could always make it into a slider as well. But I'm not going to do that today. Instead, I'm using one of the card panels that I created using a new 3D embossing folder, and looking for it now. I did have it out. I will get you to get the name of that one soon, but I think that that is really pretty. And anytime you use an embossing folder, it does give a bit more texture to the back and does make things look really pretty. Now, I don't really want the steam to go off the top, so, and this one is 5.5 inches, so unless I make this into a 5x7 card, it's going to be a little bit tight. So that's where the bottom of my wording is. Yeah, unless I want to have it kind of stuck in the snow, that one's not going to work. And I was thinking of doing this sideways as well, but again, that steam is a bit too high for me to be able to do that. So instead, I can always try trimming this down a bit more. I think what this comes down to is I'm not going to be able to use this if I want to use it on a regular A2 size card. So you need to use this on a 5x7 if you're wanting to include, of course, the warm wishes with the steam coming up. Now that's the thing, having the steam is the reason that it's too short, too tall. So if I raised it up a little bit and took out some of that steam, which I could do, then it will fit. I think that may be what I'm going to do. Let's see how much of the steam I'm going to have to cut off. So what I'm going to do now is just trim off the bottom of this sentiment here. And I think I'm going to just leave, let's start off with about 1/4 inch. From the bottom and see how that one looks. So I put this across the bottom, and I do need to put color behind it and all of that stuff, so that's understood as well. And I do want it to be where the post is touching, so it doesn't have to cut off too much at the top. I think that's going to work. Okay, so I'm going to put some red cardstock behind my Merry Christmas. Okay, so that will work there. And then we'll see exactly where I want to position it, because I want it to be about in the middle. And then trim off the edge. I only need to really trim off one. I can trim off the other when I get done. Okay, this I'm going to pop up on some foam. And I'm going to run it kind of near the bottom. And that's going to give me a little bit of dimension. It's going to pop it up some and give me some room to work with positioning my little camper. I'll put that right at the bottom of this embossed panel. Okay, and then I can trim off this edge. Okay, so there is my background panel. And then I will have my little camper. So this one, because I already used foam and it was just one layer of foam on this, I think I'm going to, I'm just going to lay the rest of the card flat. And I haven't decided yet if I want to try to tuck anything inside that door or not, because that would be kind of cute. But I haven't really decided on what I would use, if I would use. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is have it a little bit off, so it is a little bit off of the edge there, but that's okay. I am going to just trim off that little bit of my camper. And I find trimming while looking at the back is the least painful way to trim off some of that stuff. I also decided to add that little straw in red after all, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get that one added on, and I can trim off the little excess as well on that. Now I can add my little stripes. And then trim off the top of that little straw there. Okay, and it looks like I do need a little bit more glue in a couple of places to hold my camper down. And a lot of that probably is because this is a 3D embossed panel. But I think that looks kind of cool. Okay, so now all that's left is to add that to the front of an A2 size card base. So that is going to finish up that card using the Camper Life, using the Camper Life die set from Spellbinders, and I think this is super sweet. And it doesn't have to be a holiday card. You can always use a little camper for basically any other time of year, because I mean, when is not a good time to go on vacation, right? You guys have a wonderful day. Check out this playlist to see some more videos where I'm using Spellbinders products, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.